from multiple locations via the miracle of Skype. It's the LTN Hour. Let's talk NASCAR with your host, Todd Bailing. Co-host, Ed Kaluka. Featuring dangerous Dan Margetta. And Brian Schmidt. LTN is a caller-driven program, and your participation is encouraged by calling 414-421-7901. That's 414-421-7901. Now, the creator and host of the fastest hour in radio, Todd Bailing.
And welcome to the program. Glad you could join us. A busy weekend for racing. Not only was Daytona the site of some pretty awesome racing this weekend, if you like crashes anyway, but we are also getting ready to race at the Milwaukee Mile. Dan Margetta and Brian Schmidt are right there in the media center. Guys, looks like we're going to have a pretty darn good day to go racing.
We are. We've had a pretty good weekend. It's a busy weekend, like you said. I mean, I was at the World Challenge at Road America yesterday. We're here at the mile right now. I'm going to Slinger afterwards for the Kowicki Memorial. It's going to be a jam-packed weekend, and we can make it done. I think if you really want to get your racing, and we can do it this weekend.
That's right. And it just sounds so good for you to say, Todd, racing at the Milwaukee Mile again. I mean, and to have a national touring series back at the Milwaukee Mile with ARCA Menard series here, this is pretty cool. And, I mean, there's plenty of people around here when I came into the gate at 8:30 this morning.
I got, let's see, the ARCA Menards East Sioux Chief Showdown 150.
Well, it's the regular ARCA Menards series in addition to the ARCA Menards East series, which is a part of the Sioux Chief Showdown. So you kind of got you're running for three different sets of points here. But you have a combo with the East and the National Tour, which has a pretty good car count. We got 26 cars on the ground.
I am absolutely positive that there are people out there that like the kind of racing that we watched on television last night on Channel 4 of all places at Daytona. I am sure there are some really good reasons to think that that's awesome racing. I am not one of them. I don't like crashes, and yet it is must-see television. You can't take your eyes off of it because you know it's coming any second now. We're going to wreck 10 cars at a time, and I'll be damned. We had 2 of them in the late going last night. Ryan Blaney has won 2 races since this program was on the air last week. Can you believe it? 142.201 miles per hour. And Ed, the way Ryan Blaney is going, maybe he'll run the table here, huh?
Yeah, it was pretty exciting there to late the race. I thought Kevin Harvick was going to win his first race of the year. He had a good shot at it until the one car decided to push the 99 through Harvick and caused the last big wreck.
It was so big, it was so bad that the following names made it to the top 10. Ryan Preece, maybe that's not a big surprise. Justin Haley, B.J. McLeod, and Josh Bilicki finished 10th. With not many laps to go, I make it a point to always check where Josh is doing.
Correction, finished 9th.
Well, he actually was 11th. Chris Buescher finished 2nd and was disqualified.
The official finish has him at 9th.
Okay. I'll stick to my guns on this one.
I'm sure you will.
Chris Buescher was eliminated, disqualified for a track bar mounting assembly violation, and everyone behind him moved up. Bilicki finished 11th and was moved to 10th. Was there another DQ since this program started, Ed?
No, there wasn't.
Oh, your top 10 are Ryan Blaney, Bubba Wallace 2nd, Ryan Newman 3rd, Ryan Preece 4th, Reddick was 5th, Justin Haley 6th, Alex Bowman 7th, Chase Elliott 8th, B.J. McLeod 9th, Josh Bilicki 10th.
B.J. McLeod 9th and Josh Bilicki 10th. Just absolutely incredible.
Part of the deal is to avoid the crashes, which, if you can do that, you can have a good finish here. I'm with you, though. I'm kind of frustrated and disappointed with watching a race all race long, and they can mind their P's and Q's, and right down in the end, we wreck all the cars, and these are pretty serious wrecks. I mean, and eventually, when Kyle Busch says, I just want to walk out of this place, that's my main goal after these races, that's kind of a problem. I don't know, how do you fix it? Because you got to do that. You have to drive like a jag to win a race at Daytona and Talladega. Now, how did it get that way, and how do we fix it?
And it's exciting as all get out when they're not wrecking. I mean, that is hold your breath, exciting racing to see them guys maneuver like that and get so close, but they're just on such a knife edge that as soon as it all hell breaks loose, it's going to break loose, and it just keeps breaking loose.
And most of the race is defensive. You get in line, you let a guy by you here and there. There's some guys get runs on people. It's pretty exciting racing, like Brian said. Kaz Grala, I am sure, doesn't think it's all that exciting. He left the track on crutches last night. He had a cast on his foot after being injured in one of those many wrecks. We are very lucky that more guys don't get hurt. As they like to say, it's a testament to the way the cars are built and the aerodynamic packages they have. They are designed to wreck. They're designed to wreck without drivers getting hurt because of the soft walls. And apparently that's what people like to see. It's not on NBCSN. No. It's on NBC. It's the big network. Everybody tune in. It's getting late at Daytona. They're going to start wrecking. Well, that's exactly what they did.
And did you see the crowd there last night? That place was darn near full. I mean, for a hot August day in Florida to darn near fill up, the 100,000 seat Daytona National Speedway, this stuff sells. It's amazing, but it does.
It does. So congratulations. In the meantime, Kyle Larson, as that NASCAR official said, won the most important trophy of the night. Really? Kyle Larson won the regular season championship and got a trophy, which NASCAR called more important than Ryan Blaney's win, believe it or not. And Tyler Reddick made the playoffs. That's a pretty big deal for Tyler Reddick, too.
Yeah, it is. And you got to be careful in that deal, because I understand the regular season champion is something special. It's going to really help you in the playoffs and all that. But I don't think you should make that overshadow your event, because if you start doing that, you'll have a problem attendance-wise. They didn't last night, but the event is what everybody goes to see in that event. You win that race. And I think if you start watering down the race itself with something else that people really aren't going to follow and understand, you may run into some problems. It's great being the regular season champion. It helps him tremendously in the playoffs. He's got a huge amount of playoff points and everything like that, and that's good. And it really hurt Denny Hamlin because he didn't have anything going forward.
Right. And yet, you're only a couple of crashes per round away from being eliminated. So it's pretty exciting and pretty interesting at this point. If you'd like to call and give us your take on last night's race or wreckathon or whatever you want to call it at Daytona, you can call us at 414-421-7901 and weigh in on what you thought. And, is this the kind of racing you really like? Really? Okay, well, defend it then. It sure made for some interesting racing, particularly as we got going late in the going. As I mentioned, I always keep track of where Josh Bilicki is, and usually it's a quick read. He's around 34th, 35th, around there, which is where he was late in the going. At Daytona, it's usually a good thing to be back that far, as you saw a couple of the drivers yesterday hang out in the back to avoid things. The first big wreck put Josh all the way up to 17th. I thought, what a great day for Josh Bilicki. There you go. And then after the last one, he ends up 11th. I thought, well, I believe pretty much anything right now. That's there. Right there is a testament to why you don't want to run up front, because you never know.
At least he didn't deplete some of Rick Ware's inventory, because the rest of his drivers sure did. I mean, I think 3 of them wrecked at once, and that's nice that he was able to keep. He brought something home in one piece for poor Rick Ware.
Kind of set the whole craziness up at the end there, and it comes down to, again, it means to be. You get a block to do anything here, and that's where the problem is. Those crazy blocks. That's where it really makes everything go bad. That deal with the 9 and the 21. I mean, Come on, that was mirror driving all over the racetrack, and then you pile the whole field up, and that's the kind of stuff that kind of, as a real race fan, I guess, it kind of disappoints you.
Yeah, and you saw it right before that, where I don't know who it was making a real aggressive move on Alex Bowman, and Bowman actually lifted and let him in. But they don't do that when there's a couple laps to go, which is what's unfortunate.
Exactly, and that's pretty much what happened to Harvick at the end there when Kurt Busch was not willing to allow anybody in front of him. It wasn't time for that. It was time to go. We'll be back.
It's 3 days of racing fun for the whole family as the GT World Challenge, powered by AWS, returns to Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, August 27th through the 29th. This all-sports car weekend features exotic GT3 machinery, as this series is part of a global championship. Over 100 cars featuring Acura, BMW, Ferrari, and more. Fan activities include car corrals, fan forum, autograph session, on-site camping, and more. Get your printed home tickets today at roadamerica.com. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Road America, your national park of speed.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wegner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wegner's has been building championship-winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wegner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wegner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at WagnerAutomotive.com.
The cars and stars of the ARCA Menard Series return to the Milwaukee Mile for the Sprecher 150, Sunday, August 29th. The best of the best race for 150 laps, plus the Big 8 late models, vintage cars, and Mid-Am Racing Series. It all begins with qualifying at 11:30 and racing at noon. Save big money on discounted tickets at Menards and visit TrackEnterprises.com for more info. It's the ARCA Menard Series and 3 other classes, Sunday, August 29th at the Milwaukee Mile. Be there!
The summer heat is on, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
It's coming.
3rd down and 2, Wisconsin from its own 29. Another handoff to Taylor. And a first down, 35-40. Taylor, 45-50. It's a foot race to the 40, to the 30, to the 20. Taylor's gone. Touchdown, Wisconsin. 71 yards for Jonathan Taylor.
September 4th, Badgers football returns with the opener against Penn State on your home for the Cardinal and White.
Big 920.
And welcome back to the program. If you haven't heard by now, noted motorsports journalist Robin Miller passed away this week. Not a surprise. He had cancer. He had done he had written a couple of essays recently talking about his predicament and that he was headed this direction. Robin Miller was a kind of like a real guy. He raced, and yet you would see him sitting in the stands. Matter of fact, Dan and Brian, didn't you guys sit with him one time in the stands?
I remember back when the Silver Crown cars ran here at the Milwaukee Mile. I think it was IndyCar weekend. Ed and I were out in the turn floor bleachers, and Robin Miller was out there with us. Kyle Larson was running that race, and I mean, Robin was real big on Kyle Larson. It was like 2011, 2012, somewhere around then. And telling us to watch this kid, and it was just cool. I don't know him real personally. I don't think I knew who he was. I've talked to him before. It was kind of fun talking to him because he was just a real racer kind of guy, and he was not afraid to tell you what he thought. And I thought the things he did for the IndyCar series, and especially Indianapolis Motor Speedway, is just unreal. And the respect he had from everybody, from Foyt and Andretti and all the big names. And he argued with them a lot, but they respected each other. And if you ever got him along with like Bobby Unser, they would tell some outstanding stories.
It wasn't just that he would say those things. He would write those things. And of course, that's what got him fired from the Indianapolis Star, writing something about Tony George that was unflattering. And George called the paper and said, if you want access to this racetrack anymore, you're going to get rid of that guy. And Robin Miller later said it was the best thing ever happened to him, because then he could write for other outlets and say what he really meant, what he really wanted to say.
He was just a regular guy. I mean, he wasn't, even during the NBC broadcast, he was wearing tennis shoes. He was the first one to take his tie off. He hated doing that. You know, I talked to him in the media center 2 years ago at Road America, right after, it was this, like the week after they had that, the Midwest Tour race here at the Milwaukee Mile. And he was asking, you know, how well did that go there? What kind of a crowd did you guys have? And this and that. And he goes, we got to get IndyCar back there. I mean, it's ironic. We sit here at the Milwaukee Mile, you know, right after the same week as his passing, because he had a passion for this place also. And he really wanted to see IndyCars back here. And I don't know if it'll ever happen again, but you know, he was a big pusher for that, and he wanted him to have more oval races, and he was the patriarch of motorsports, you know, writing when it comes to anything outside of NASCAR.
He will be missed, that's for sure. Robin Miller passed away this week. To no one's surprise whatsoever. There are a couple of things that happened in the world of NASCAR this week. This one is very disturbing. NASCAR's own representative, management's representative, Cup Series Director Jay Fabian has, quote, temporarily stepped away from his duties after he has been charged with animal cruelty. He had 3 dogs. One of them died. One of them had extreme dehydration and starvation, and one was extremely starved when they found him. I wonder who tipped him off and found his dogs, one of them dead and the other 2 ready to die. Either way, this is NASCAR's Cup Series director. What an example for others to emulate. This guy has, if he ever shows up in NASCAR again, it would totally surprise me, because you can't do stuff like that and get away with it. It's like, I don't know. What do you think? Like a wife beater type of thing? And yet, you know, sometimes you got enough lawyers, you're going to get yourself back. So there you go. Jay Fabian, representing NASCAR at the highest level. Nice job, asshole. If you'd like to call the program, 414-421-7901. Tell us about Ryan Blaney's back-to-back wins. How about Bubba Wallace finishing second last night? He needed to win, of course. A lot of guys did. Ryan Newman did, of course. He finished up there in third place. Good runs for those guys. Unfortunately, finishing second and third wasn't enough. And what ended up happening was Tyler Reddick made the playoffs, and his teammate Dillon did not. Austin Dillon was involved in that last crash, and that pretty much put the nails in his coffin.
How about Reddick's guys though? You know, with that, they had that leak or whatever when he got in that wreck, and the car was smoking so bad, they tear off the oil cooler or something like that, and got the car out to at least make some laps and putt around, at least make the playoffs. I mean, that's pretty good determination there to beat the crash clock and everything else to get the car back on the track.
Ed, did they ever figure out?
Cooler.
It was the oil cooler?
Bypassed the oil cooler because it got wrecked.
Okay, because there was a lot of smoke coming in there going, just keep driving. It's burning off. You'll be fine. Okay, then. I guess I'll do what I'm told. The Xfinity Series is going to have a new team next year. Emmett Smith, the guy who we all remember because nobody that I know likes the Dallas Cowboys, Hall of Famer from the Dallas Cowboys, and Jesse Iwuji, who was a officer in the Navy. The two of them get together and are going to field an Xfinity team for next year. And so that'll check a couple of boxes for NASCAR. More and more ownership coming. It looks more favorable for the long term. And as far as NASCAR is concerned, that's a good thing. So congratulations, a new Xfinity team on the way. And another couple of things came out with one test. Kurt Busch jumped in his new car for next year and came out to test it somewhere. Where was that, Ed? Do you know where the test was? Okay. It's going to be, first thing we learned, it's going to be number 45, as he has announced. He will be the second team For 2311 Racing will be number 45, 23, and 45. By the way, that's Michael Jordan's 2 numbers that he wore in the NBA and in minor league baseball, I should point out. And Dan, something that I didn't realize is where they're going to get their charter and what it all means.
I think it's going to come from one of the front row teams. And it's not I don't know if they've officially known something like that, but I'm pretty sure that that's where it's going to come from. Either the 34 or the 38, one of those cars.
And the real
interesting thing about that picture was where the number is located.
And that's the other half of that equation, which we'll talk about and what this means for front row when we come back.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Miller Sales and Service is the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer for customer service and satisfaction. Serving the area since 1939, Miller's is located on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. As the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer, Miller's has all kinds of Bravo trailers from 8 feet to 48 feet in stock. They also have a selection of B&B utility and dump trailers, reliable and Chilton open aluminum and steel trailers. With over 50 pre-owned low-mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs, Miller's has just the vehicle you are looking for. Miller's also carries a full line of Alumacraft boats and Manitou pontoon boats, complete with Evinrude outboards. Why not buy from racers who know what racers want and need? With Miller's Sales and Service on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. Call Jerry, Tom, or Brad Miller today at 920-994-4358. That's Miller's Sales and Service, 920-994-4358.
The cars and stars of the ARCA Menard Series return to the Milwaukee Mile for the Sprecher 150, Sunday, August 29th. The best of the best race for 150 laps, plus the Big 8 late models, vintage cars, and Mid-Am Racing Series. It all begins with qualifying at 11:30 and racing at noon. Save big money on discounted tickets at Menards and visit trackenterprises.com for more info. It's the ARCA Menard Series and 3 other classes, Sunday, August 29th at the Milwaukee Mile. Be there!
Can you feel it?
Lead their own 47. Snaps to McSorley. Badgers bringing 4. Pressure on. And he gets sacked. And it's the outside linebackers, Zach Vaughn and Andrew Van Ginkel, getting to the quarterback at the Penn State 35-yard line.
September 4th, Badgers football returns with the opener against Penn State on your home for the Cardinal and White.
Big 920.
Welcome back. Nice to have you. A couple things came out of this whole business. Dan, it's just a rumor, but if Front Row loses one of their 2 charters, what happens with the other one?
Maybe somebody else will buy that one. I mean, there's a lot of talk that charters are going to come from that team somehow. I don't know what their future plans are, but there's a lot of chatter going around. I'm not sure how much is completely true, but when it's usually that much chatter, there's some smoke there. So it looks like the 23 would probably, the 2311 team would get one of them, and another team might buy the second one.
So Front Row is basically done.
I don't know. I don't know what their plans are. Maybe they'll go run Xfinity and trucks. I mean, it might be that way too. I mean, so.
But as far as the Cup Series goes, it looks as though Front Row, who's been around for. Must be 15 years, Dan, don't you think?
Yeah, I think there'll be some, definitive news coming out on that pretty soon, but it looks like that could be the case.
All right, that's pretty interesting. And as Ed alluded, the other half of what happened there with the 45 car coming out and doing a test is that the car number was located right behind the front wheel well. They're going to move it forward. Didn't we have the number moved back for the All-Star race last year, and then now they've decided we're going to move it forward instead?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I like it this way. I kind of liked what we saw, with that All-Star race deal, because it kind of reminded me of what you see a lot of, short track cars do that. They put the sponsor has the main spot there right in front, where everybody can see it. I don't know if I liked it. I guess it'll grow on us, but right now, I don't know. I didn't like it that much.
NASCAR is good at one thing, and that is not staying constant. They are always changing. Now, think about this. The number on the middle of the door has been that way since the inception of NASCAR in the late 40s. And now we're going to have a better idea and move the number forward. Now, the idea behind it is to make more room for the sponsor, which is not a bad idea, but really, we're going to change it after all these years, I guess.
I think some of them might not look so bad. Right now, the 45 car, so I didn't really care for that. I don't know if it's just the way that's done. And again, it's one of those things, is it going to make me quit watching because the numbers go? Probably not. I'll probably, grow on it eventually. But, I'm not a fan of what I saw. Let's put it that way. Maybe there's a better way to do it. I mean, I've seen some cars that have numbers forward that don't look that way. That one looked like it was like the 40 was just stuck on that car.
Yeah, it didn't look right.
It didn't. We got to get used to it. Guys, you were there for early practice at the Milwaukee Mile today, and it sounded as though there was a couple of wrecks early, huh?
Well, a couple of the Big 8 cars looked like they had some issues. Not exactly sure who was involved in those wrecks yet. But a couple of the Big 8 cars had some issues. The ARCA cars are out there right now. They're about 10 minutes into their practice session. Sammy Smith has run 11 laps already. He's the fastest one at a 29.765. So somebody other than Ty Gibbs is fast right now. Don't worry, Ty Gibbs is second. Corey Haim is third. So those
Sammy Smith cars is 81, another Gibbs car.
Yeah, it's a Gibbs car. Yeah, so the Gibbs cars are first and second. Those wondering, Sam Mayer right now is sixth on the board with a 34.58 or 34.58. So he's kind of in the ballpark. Jesse Love is also here, guy we've seen racing short tracks a lot around here. He's seventh in time right now. So see how it goes. But right now the Gibbs cars are the fast ones, as is usually the case with ARCA.
It's right now it's quite a deal in the points between Ty Gibbs and Corey Haim, right?
They're dead even coming into this race. So I mean, there's points battles out there. We got the playoffs for NASCAR and all this kind of stuff. ARCA does points the old-fashioned way. You go out and race every race. I think qualifying means something to the points, and they're dead even. So you can still do it the old-fashioned way and have a hell of a points contest, and that's what we got going on here.
Amazingly, I mean, Ty Gibbs and Corey Haim are going to get the headlines here, but nothing like having the local kid with a good car. This is that 23 car that he's driven before, right, Brian?
Yeah, it's Brett Holmes Racing. Didn't Brett Holmes win the title in ARCA a couple years ago? So I mean, the car is it's good. I mean, they've won championships with it. So we'll see if he's able to dial that thing in and have three. I don't know if Sam's ever raced here before. I don't think he ever was here in a super late or anything, right? I don't think so. So this might be his first time ever here.
Interesting. And Jesse Love has got a lot more fans in Wisconsin after his couple of races at Slinger, and with a win and where was he, second? He's a nice kid. He's respectful. He's from California, but lives in North Carolina now, which is what you do as you're trying to further your career. So,
and the people in the garage area definitely are recognizing him, because when I was just walking up and down the pit road area just before here, drivers are walking in and out with their stuff, and he's had people signing autographs, at least 3 of them while I was walking by. So people are recognizing him, and he's getting some respect from the people here in Wisconsin anyway, because he's been here enough.
Hey, you guys have the official times for when everything starts today?
Yes, we do. So the ARC Menard Series is practicing right now. At 11 o'clock, they're going to run the vintage feature. It's 15 laps or 20 minutes, so that's right at 11 o'clock. At 11:30, then they're going to have general pole qualifying for the ARC Menard Series, and I believe they go out as a group. I don't think they do individual car qualifying, because it says it's a timed session. And then at noon, they're going to have the Mid-Am feature. That's 20 laps or 25 minutes. 12:30 is the Big 8 feature. That's 38 laps or 50 minutes. And then they're going to do driver introductions at 1:40, National Anthem at 1:58, the Command at 2:05, and the green flag for the Sprecher 150 is at 2:11. So it is a very fast-moving, tight show. So if you're not going to get any downtime when you come here today. You're going to get your money's worth.
Starting at 11, so it's pretty cool. And you said there's a pretty good crowd already on hand, huh?
And we're back with breaking news. The new Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an improved taste and 0 calories, make sure... Jim.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me.
We're on the air.
I need to try it first.
Con cero azúcar y ahora mucho más rica. ¿Será que la nueva Coca-Cola Zero Sugar es la mejor de todas? ¡Descúbrela!
You might have noticed a change in your neighborhood lately. Yep, Sprint stores are now T-Mobile stores. Now that Sprint is T-Mobile, you get more coverage, value, and benefits than ever before. We've invested billions to bring our 5G from big cities to small towns across America. And great coverage is just the start. From high-speed mobile hotspot data to weekly deals and giveaways, our customers get tons of great benefits. Head to your new T-Mobile store to learn more.
Qualifying service and capable device required. Coverage not available in some areas. Some uses may require certain plan or features. See T-Mobile.com.
Yeah, there are a fair amount of people around here. Oh, and I also forgot that Vintage is going to run 2 features. So after the ARCA Menards Series race, the Vintage Series is going to run another 15-lap feature. So there's a lot of racing here crammed into today.
You're speaking of Jesse Love. He's driving for Venturini along with Corey Heim. Have you seen on Twitter when they did their preview from Milwaukee? They did like Laverne and Shirley beginning where they walked through. It was kind of funny. I mean, it was like the old Milwaukee type old time deal there. And it was, if you get a chance to see it, it's kind of funny. The 2 kids, they were like checking in, clocking in, like at the brewery kind of thing.
Very cool.
Probably not even old enough to drink anything out of a brewery either.
Or remember Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they're going Laverne and who? If you'd like to participate in the program, 414-421-7901. Tell us what you thought of last night's debacle at Daytona. Is that the kind of racing you like? Is that why it's on the national network? Is it? Do we do our sport proud by showing all these cars smashing into each other with the laps waning in the final lap of the regular season? We'll be back.
It's 3 days of racing fun for the whole family as the GT World Challenge, powered by AWS, returns to Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, August 27th through the 29th. This all-sports car weekend features exotic GT3 machinery, as this series is part of a global championship. Over 100 cars featuring Acura, BMW, Ferrari, and more. Fan activities include car corrals, fan forum, autograph session, on-site camping, and more. Get your printed home tickets today at roadamerica.com. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Road America, your national park of speed.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
The cars and stars of the ARCA Menards Series return to the Milwaukee Mile for the Sprecher 150, Sunday, August 29th. The best of the best race for 150 laps, plus the Big 8 late models, vintage cars, and Mid-Am Racing Series. It all begins with qualifying at 11:30 and racing at noon. Save big money on discounted tickets at Menards and visit trackenterprises.com for more info. It's the ARCA Menards Series and 3 other classes, Sunday, August 29th at the Milwaukee Mile. Be there!
The NASCAR Cup Series.
Southern 500 is under the green flag, and we're racing in South Carolina.
Playoffs begin at Darlington Raceway.
Trouble in turn 3. Ryan Blaney just got into Brad Keselowski.
Who will take the first step towards a championship?
Boy, Harvick appears to be somewhat off the pace, and Austin Dillon is there. Here they come, racing back to the checkered flag.
It's the Cookout Southern 500.
Sunday, September 5th. Coverage starts at 5 on Milwaukee's home for NASCAR, the Big 920.
Well, we got a treat for you. As many of you know, the promoter for today's events at the Milwaukee Mile is Bob Sargent, and Bob has just sat down and put on a headset and is sitting with Brian and Dan. And guys, take it away.
That's right. We're here with Bob Sargent. I'm going to let Brian start the interview off here.
Hey, Bob, welcome to Milwaukee. Thank you for getting this race together. I guess one of the biggest questions most of us in Wisconsin are wondering is, you got last couple years ago before the pandemic, you got one big race here. Now this year you got 2 big races. Is there more things in the offing for this place? Are we going to see more racing here?
Well, you're exactly right. So we're just not at liberty to say 100% because we're still working on some things. But I can definitely say that we are focused on doing more here at the Milwaukee Mile in 22, 23, 24. So a lot of these big major races take some time to plan and get scheduled. So we are definitely working on things.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's great. I mean, you have like 30 different races in like 8 different states. So I guess give the folks in the Wisconsin area here a little background of how you've come about, what kind of races you promote, and not everybody knows about track enterprises here in Wisconsin necessarily.
Yeah, we were fortunate, and gosh, back in 1985, we started running a short track called Macon Speedway, and over the years, it's like a little bull ring. We had a lot of fun there, and ended up getting some partners, and Ken Schrader, Kenny Wallace, and Tony Stewart. So from that, we just did a lot of other races, including the dirt miles at Springfield, Illinois, a famous dirt mile. So it's kind of nice to come here to the Milwaukee Mile. We do one in DuQuoin. We did in Indy. So we do all kinds of racing also on big tracks, little tracks, whether it's ARCA, USAC, some NASCAR trucks we did at Knoxville this year, World of Outlaws, just all kinds of motorsports we like to go promote.
I don't think people realize just what kind of effort goes into putting an event like this on any track around there. Kind of just touching on what you all have to go through to just get this thing to happen in the first place.
Well, again, we're fortunate to have a good group to work with. The State Fair people here, the staff have been phenomenal. They enjoy racing. They want to bring economy things back and things like that. So that's been a big help for us. We had to work with ARCA. We had to work with our sponsor, Sprecher, the staff, and just, the drivers of these other divisions that we brought in, whether it be the Big 8 or Mid-Am and Vintage, Midwest Tour we had earlier. So all that does take putting it together and making it work, and we feel fortunate.
And then some of the other places, you kind of touch on some of the events you put on this year. Like I said, a lot of big-time names that people probably know about the racetrack. Don't realize that you're behind it.
Yeah. Probably haven't branded track enterprises like some sanctioning bodies do, but that's okay. We're just the promoter. We try to come in here and make sure everybody has a good time, family, fun atmosphere, great race, goes home and says, wow, that was a good time. We'd like to go to come back or go to another one. So we're big into that, promoting the sport of auto racing at these events. And we've been lucky to get some good facilities. And we did the Illinois State Fair Mile Dirt last week with these cars. So now here they are on the pavement mile. And next week they go to DuQuoin on the dirt that we do. So you're right. We did that again. First time at Knoxville, Iowa, with the trucks this year. That was ours. A lot of people didn't know we did an ARCA race at the Iowa Speedway. So just Terre Haute, Indiana. A lot of races that we're doing.
I think one of the things people are going to notice when they leave here today is how fast-moving a program you have. It's a one-day program. There isn't a lot of practice. I mean, from the moment that people walk through the gate to the time they leave, there's going to be constant action, which you don't always see at a lot of events. And I think that's cool.
Yeah, we kind of shape our events like that. We're grassroots, like a Saturday night racetrack you go to, and we're kind of mix and matching that in these bigger events, and it seems to be successful. Again, bringing in 3 support divisions is unique to a big ARCA race on a mile. But when the fans go home, I think they're going to say, wow, that was real exciting. A lot of different types of racing, a lot of different characters in these cars, from stars to people just out having a hobby and fun.
And just for people at home you can still come out. You can still get tickets right here at the gate. You can come in and sit in the grandstand, correct? What do you got for tickets going on today?
Yeah, plenty of tickets at the front gate. Just drive on out. The sun's out now. We're looking forward to a good day. We'll be racing all day long, kicking the main event off at 2 p.m.
Sounds like a good time. And thanks for taking some time to join us. I noticed they're calling you on your radio. We're not taking you away from something. But thanks for bringing racing back to the mile, and look forward to working with you in the future and more events here at this place.
Thanks a lot.
All right. Thanks. That was Bob Sargent. He's a promoter of this race today. They do a lot of things around the country, and it's kind of cool. He spent some time with us, and sat with us. They are calling him on his radio while we're talking to him. So he's
that's
been
funny.
a pretty busy guy here today.
Ed, I used to remember when they would race the USAC stock cars back in the day here at the Milwaukee Mile. Didn't they come from like Springfield the week before, and the cars still had mud on them?
Yeah, they did.
And here, this guy's from Springfield and DuQuoin, those very famous dirt tracks. I think they're both a mile, aren't they, Brian?
Yeah, they are. Yep. I mean, you used to have 4 big miles in like the Midwest area. You had Syracuse, you had Indianapolis, DuQuoin, and Springfield, Illinois. And I mean, the one in Syracuse is completely gone. Indianapolis, they ran the Silver Crown cars there last year, but I don't know. I think that one's going away also. So I think all you got are the 2 in Illinois, and then you got our mile up here. There might be one out in California, Sacramento, or something like that too. But yeah, that's about it. So I mean, there's a lot of history here, and it's awesome to see someone that has a passion for the place and is going to be able to work with the other people to keep it going. I mean, that's been the biggest problem at the Milwaukee Mile, has been the people that they've had to work with over the years. And for him to say that it's been working really well, working with the state fair.
With the state board?
I mean, that's
Are
big.
you kidding?
I mean, I almost fell out of my chair when he said that here. I was like, ooh, that's awesome to hear, because you don't always hear that. So, but, he's got the history of it. He's worked, if you look at the list of all the tracks he promotes, most of them are dealing with state fair boards or county fair boards or whatever. I mean, he promoted the truck race at Knoxville this year, so he had to work with the Knoxville board. And those people there, they only like things with wings on the top. We've heard that for years. So for him to be able to work with these people, it's great. He's got that knack for that.
I think going forward, the important thing is to think of all the series he's worked with. He's worked the major series. The NASCAR trucks. He said the ARCA cars, the USAC cars. And putting that towards the future of this place, there may be some big things in the work coming up.
Because we're doing radio here, so you can't see it, but we could see the grin on his face when we asked that question. He had a grin on his face, and that was cool to see. So I think there's future here.
Brian, I think you nailed it. Go ahead, Brian.
I said I've heard some good news this week, and then hopefully they can bring it to you in a couple weeks.
Yep.
Brian, I'm just like you are. It about knocked me off my chair when he said how great it was to work with the Wisconsin State Fair Board, because boy, oh boy. If we want to blame anybody for the demise of racing at Milwaukee, we want to blame those guys. And the fact that he said it's going good, do we actually have some good news coming out of there? That sounds pretty awesome.
Yes, it does. Yeah, it's all about people. And that's the main thing. We say that in all forms of anything with motorsports. It's all about the people that you put in charge of it. And if you have the right people that can talk to the other right people, you can have good things happen, and that seems to be what we got going on here. So let's just cross our fingers and see what the future has for us here.
Bob Sargent. Boy, am I glad you asked him. I had no idea he was with Macon Speedway. Got caught a little bit of a southern accent there, too. So as long as the Macon he's talking about is Macon, Georgia, well, I know where that is.
It's actually Macon, it's Illinois, right?
Yeah, Macon, Illinois, yeah.
Southern Illinois sounds like.
And he works with Schrader and Kenny Wallace. So I mean, those two. That's got to be it. Those board meetings got to be awesome.
There you go. We'll be back.
Miller Sales and Service is the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer for customer service and satisfaction. Serving the area since 1939, Miller's is located on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. As the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer, Miller's has all kinds of Bravo trailers from 8 feet to 48 feet in stock. They also have a selection of B&B utility and dump trailers, reliable and Chilton open aluminum and steel trailers. With over 50 pre-owned low-mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs, Miller's has just the vehicle you are looking for. Miller's also carries a full line of Alumacraft boats and Manitou pontoon boats, complete with Evinrude outboards. Why not buy from racers who know what racers want and need? With Miller's Sales and Service on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. Call Jerry, Tom, or Brad Miller today at 920-994-4358. That's Miller's Sales and Service, 920-994-4358. It's 3 days of racing fun for the whole family as the GT World Challenge, powered by AWS, returns to Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, August 27th through the 29th. This all-sports car weekend features exotic GT3 machinery, as this series is part of a global championship. Over 100 cars featuring Acura, BMW, Ferrari, and more. Fan activities include car corrals, fan forum, autograph session, on-site camping, and more. Get your printed home tickets today at roadamerica.com. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Road America, your national park of speed.
The summer heat is on, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
This week on NASCAR Live, we preview the regular season finale at Daytona.
In the situation I am in right now, we're in a little bit of a nothing to lose attitude right now because we got to gain on our teammate, and if not, we got to win. I've had some great runs there, so I'm pumped that it's the last race of our regular season.
There's much more waiting for you each week on NASCAR Live.
Tuesday night following Jim Trado's Racing Roundup show at 6 on the Big 920.
And now the LTN Hour presents Dirt on the Dirt with Brian Schmidt.
It's a difficult week for dirt racing weather-wise around the country, that's for sure, because my page, I don't even have a full page here, believe it or not. And this summer we've been rocking and rolling. So we'll give you the stuff that we got that was able to dodge the weather this week. We'll start Wednesday in Grand Forks, North Dakota, the River City Speedway for the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. Brad Sweet was your winner up there. Thursday night in Davenport, Iowa, night number 1 of the 3-day World of Outlaws Morton Buildings Late Model Series Quad City 150, 10,000 win for the first night. That went to Devin Moran. Port Royal, Pennsylvania, Thursday night for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. That was 10,000 win also. Hudson O'Neill was your winner there. Friday night, lots of rainouts. Plymouth was supposed to have their big Dirt King special. That one rained out. Seymour rained out. Gravity Park had their first rainout of the year. They've been racing since the second Friday in April. They finally were bit by the weather. They rained out. Up in Menominee, Red Cedar, that rained out. Jim Falls rained out. Fountain City rained out. So everything in Wisconsin rained out. Kokomo, Indiana race, the USAC non-wing sprint cars. The Kokomo Sprint Car Smackdown was there. Justin Grant was your winner. Greenwood, Nebraska, the I-80 Speedway for the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars. Donnie Schatz, that's his second win in a week here. So he's picking things up there with that Tony Stewart car. He got the win there. Night number 2 in Davenport, Iowa for the World of Outlaw Morton Buildings Late Models. Another 10,000 win. That went to Brandon Shepard. And in Port Royal, Pennsylvania, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, 12,000 win. That went to Tim McCready.
Switching to Geico is a good idea, especially when you consider everything.
First off, Geico makes it easy to switch. They have licensed agents available 24/7 online or over the phone.
But if it's so easy, you might start thinking everything is easy, even big wave surfing. And it's not. It's actually quite difficult.
Well, if you switch to Geico, you could save hundreds on car insurance. And you could keep saving by bundling your motorcycle, boat, and RV, plus your home or renter's insurance.
But saving money might lead you to make some questionable purchases, like a 20-foot feather boa. And do you know how hard it is to clean a 20-foot feather boa?
Well, they do have an industry-leading mobile app you can use to pay your bill, file and manage a claim, or add a new driver.
But when life gets a little easier, it makes you too confident, and you start calling everyone Ace. And you're better than that.
Well, Geico has a 97% customer satisfaction rating and has been saving people money for 85 years. It's hard to beat that.
But you're right.
Switch to Geico. It's obviously a good idea.
Last night, rainouts. I think every dirt track in the state of Wisconsin rained out with the exception of Beaver Dam. So Shawano, Wilmot, 141, Rice Lake, Ashland, Cedar Lake, Lucas Oil's Port Royal race even rained out. Over in Beaver Dam, though, the MSA 360 sprint cars were the headliner last night, and Travis Aarons, who is the current MSA point leader, he picked up the win there last night, so that was the only race to get in. Knoxville, Iowa, the 410 sprint cars, Brian Brown was your winner, and the 360s was Scott Boguski. Kokomo, Indiana, they had a rainout Thursday night, so they ran a doubleheader yesterday for the USAC non-wing sprints. Kevin Thomas Jr. was your winner of the day race. The nightcap went to Justin Grant. And finally, down in Davenport, Iowa, the World of Outlaw Morton Buildings Late Models, a $30,000 to win 70-lap feature there went to Devin Moran. So that's all we got for dirt this week.
And thanks to our friend Paul Reichert for giving us the results from around Wisconsin's asphalt track. Starting Thursday at State Park Speedway in Wausau, Justin Mondyke won the feature and the championship. Congratulations to Justin at Wisconsin International Raceway in Kaukauna. Grant Griesbach won his first feature up at Kaukauna in a super late model. And they had twin features in the late models. Brandon Reichenberger and Nate Van Wyken won those twin late model features. Then, let's see, Friday night, it rained at Golden Sands, and that was, I believe that was their season championships. So they have pushed those back to September 10th, which is after Labor Day, because they have a special Labor Day thing going on up there, and they didn't want to mix the two up. The ARCA Midwest Tour raced at Madison on Friday night. It was the Howie Leto Classic, and Casey Johnson was your winner. In the Midwest Trucks, James Swan won it, and in the 602 late models, Bobby Wilberg won it. He's won in pretty much every single thing he's ever raced in his career.
On those things at Madison, Casey Johnson's win, that's Travis Dassau's car, and Travis drove for Howie Leto for a while, so that was a pretty big win there. And Bobby Wilberg had a car painted up like Rich Bickle's car, because that was Bickle's last time running at Madison, so he won in the Bickle tribute car in this.
Oh, that's what the red and white 45 Miller car was?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. And yeah, that was Bickle's last time out there too. Bickle's career is winding down in a hurry. What did he say? He has 11 races left. I think that's what it was. Last night at Dulles Raceway Park, it was the CWRA late models, the Walbeck Classic, and Steve Litchfield won it. I believe that was Steve's first feature win at the Dells. Congratulations, Steve. One of the good guys. At Jefferson, it was Luke the Duke Westenberg, and the cars Series ran at Radford, Virginia, and Carson Quapple won that one. Congratulations to him. Last week at the Slinger Super Speedway, the late models took center stage. Jordan DeVoy won in the 16 car.
And now you got to hear that story about Jordan DeVoy too. You know, they had a problem with their at the shop. They had a problem, something going on. They had the car, and then the truck didn't start. The trailer broke. The trailer had a flat tire or something. They had to change a tire in the trailer. Then the truck wouldn't start, so they had to go get another truck and another trailer, open trailer. They brought the car in an open trailer. They loaded 4 pickup trucks full of all the stuff they're going to need to get there, and then they won the feature that night.
I had no idea. That's awesome. Congratulations to everybody involved there. Tonight, the Super Lates are back at Slinger Speedway. There's only 2 nights left of the regular season for the Super Lates. Just for the Super Leagues, there's 3 nights left of racing at Slinger Speedway, but 2 for the Supers, and that would be tonight. It's the Alan Kowicki Memorial Race, and of course that race was rained out from the beginning of the season, so it's a kind of one of the more prestigious races of the year at Slinger Speedway.
Should have some decent cars, and you know, like Fenhouse is part of the Kowicki
Brad
deal.
Miller's coming tonight.
Brad Miller's coming tonight. I don't know if Kaler should be up there. Usually the Alan Kowicki development drivers are there, and past champions ought to show up to run it too. That's be kind of cool.
Very, very cool. By the way, Luke Fenhouse took the points lead from Rich Bickle the last time the Supers raced there 2 weeks ago, and it's very close, 25 points from first to second. Here you've got Bickle trying to win his last championship at age 60, and Luke Fenhouse trying to win his first championship at Slinger Speedway at age 17, and they're going at it tooth and nail. It'll be fun to watch tonight at Slinger Speedway.
It's going to be like old times for me, Todd. I'll be here at the mile. I'm going to truck up the Slinger right afterwards and kind of hit 2 and 1. I think a lot of people on the way back home want to stop by and do the same thing. Remember we used to run Cacon in the day and Slinger at night, or Madison in the day and Slinger at night?
Madison and Slinger in the same day, yeah.
Just like old times, man. And a couple cars here in the Mid-Am cars, Andrew Meyerhofer and Dale Likas are going to run the race here and run up the Slinger run tonight. So good for those guys. A couple old school guys there.
Very cool, you bet. So looking forward to seeing people up at Slinger Speedway tonight. This means 2 races left in Bickle's career at Slinger Speedway. It's starting to get to him, I think, a little bit. He's already going, oh my God, there's only 11 races left of my career. How can this be? And then people are saying, but what if you get a sponsor? Well, if I got a big sponsor, I suppose I'd have to look at it. It sounds like a couple of years ago, Brett Favre, when he had retired.
Once a racer, always a racer.
Once a racer, always a racer. That's pretty much it. And sounds like a good time to sneak away. We'll be right back.
It's 3 days of racing fun for the whole family as the GT World Challenge, powered by AWS, returns to Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, August 27th through the 29th. This all-sports car weekend features exotic GT3 machinery, as this series is part of a global championship. Over 100 cars featuring Acura, BMW, Ferrari, and more. Fan activities include car corrals, fan forum, autograph session, on-site camping, and more. Get your printed home tickets today at roadamerica.com. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Road America, your national park of speed.
The summer heat is on, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
The cars and stars of the ARCA Menard Series return to the Milwaukee Mile for the Sprecher 150, Sunday, August 29th. The best of the best race for 150 laps, plus the Big 8 late models, vintage cars, and Mid-Am Racing Series. It all begins with qualifying at 11:30 and racing at noon. Save big money on discounted tickets at Menards and visit trackenterprises.com for more info. It's the ARCA Menard Series and 3 other classes, Sunday, August 29th at the Milwaukee Mile. Be there!
The NASCAR Cup Series.
Southern 500 is under the green flag, and we're racing in South Carolina.
Playoffs begin at Darlington Raceway.
Trouble in turn 3. Ryan Blaney just got into Brad Keselowski.
Who will take the first step towards a championship?
Boy, Harvick appears to be somewhat off the pace, and Austin Dillon is there. Here they
come racing back to the checkered flag.
It's the Cookout Southern 500.
Sunday, September 5th. Coverage starts at 5 on Milwaukee's home for NASCAR, the Big 920.
Welcome back to the program. Not only is the Alan Kowicki Memorial Race at Slinger Speedway tonight, but it's the Wall of Fame induction ceremony. Congratulations to those who, of the 6 people that are going on, only 3 of them are still alive. Tim Keith, who has supported Slinger Speedway and with sponsorship over many, many years, will be one of them. Willie Van Camp, the figure 8 racer, who what a personality this guy is. John Heinen, who is the safety crew, headed up the safety crew for over 20 years, and what a perfect thing for him to go onto the Wall of Fame. And then 3 folks that are no longer with us. Carl Wegner, of course. Carl so instrumental in keeping the racing going at Slinger over the years. Bill Bailing, who passed away several years ago, no relation to me. He had Bailing Racing Equipment in Butler, and another guy that just provided so many racers the means to get racing. And the first ever late model driver to get into the 11s, Pat Schauer, number 21, will be going up. There's such a distinguished class, and it's pretty cool to have them going up onto the Wall of Fame tonight. Only 3 will be standing there with us, though, with 3 that didn't make it. So big night for us on Alan Kowicki Memorial Night at Slinger Speedway. Guys, what's going on at Milwaukee? Must be getting ready for that vintage race coming in a few minutes.
Yeah, practice is just wrapping up. Sammy Smith is still the fastest man out there. Second is Ty Gibbs. Jesse Love third, but Corey Heim 5th. Sam Mayer 6th. Corey Heim 5th. That's kind of surprising that Joey Least in the 54 car for David Gilliland Motorsports is now up to 4th. Jesse Love 3rd. So, yeah, a very close field, too. I mean, the top 12 cars, sometimes ARCA can get kind of spread out. Top 12 cars here all within a second of each other, so that's pretty
And over on the Big 8 side, Casey Johnson, favorite, looks like had some engine issues, so scrambling over there.
Is Jesse Love in a Wimmer car, Dan?
No, he's in the Venturini car.
Yeah, he's in a Venturini car today here.
Okay. Yeah,
that's why William Byron drove the Wimmer car at Madison on Friday night.
Yes.
Okay, there you go. How did he do, by the way?
Fast time and issues in the feature. I think, right? He had motor issues or something. He went out kind of early, but he was fast to qualifier.
Hey, there was a pretty wild accident at Madison on Friday night where the safety crew guys got hurt. Dan, you know any more about that?
I guess it happened in the truck feature under caution. Some trucks got together or something under caution, and one of them hit the safety truck and rolled it over. Some of the guys got pinned. Pretty serious stuff for a while there. It turns out everybody is okay from what last I heard, so thank God for that. But a scary situation.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I think it's not one of those jobs that is just you punch the clock and put some trinkets together for 8 hours. You're on a safety crew. Your life is in your hands many times. So we're thinking of the Madison safety crew. Boy, I saw guys get hurt bad there in the past. So it's pretty crazy stuff. Guys, the vintage race is just a couple of minutes away from getting going, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be 11 o'clock, although I still hear ARCA cars out there, so they're still practicing, so we may be delayed just a little bit on that. But, yeah, the vintage cars are out there, and then we got qualifying at 11:30 for the ARCA Menard Series.
And many of you that are listening to this program, I assume, are in your cars on your way to the Milwaukee Mile as we speak and have plans to go to Slinger Speedway tonight for the Alan Kowicki Memorial Race and the Wall of Fame induction.
We can do it. We've done it, man. We've done it in the past. That's what makes it like old times. It's kind of what it was. We go and run a race here, and then we go up to Slinger afterwards. We'll all caravan up there. I'll lead the charge in the blue Mustang. Just follow me. We'll go right up there.
Follow the LTN 1 plate all the way to Slinger. That's pretty awesome, no doubt. Guys, I don't know about you, but it's almost like sacred when there's stock cars at the Milwaukee Mile. This is what we grew up with. I remember going to my first race there in the mid-'50s, and it's where stock cars belong, and it's pretty great having them back at that track, don't you think?
Honestly, a few years ago, I didn't think we'd ever see it again, really. After the last couple go rounds here, especially stock cars. Indy cars survived a little bit longer, but I didn't think stock cars would come back. But as we said, our guest Bob Sargent has done a hell of a job of trying to get this back up and going again, and I think he's done it.
I came here when I was 5 years old. I saw Salta Villa went out here. And then we went to the Mac Davis concert at night during the fair. And I'm heading up in the stands. My parents are on their way here. I'll go watch the race with them. Then I'm heading up to Slinger. But, yeah, it is kind of cool.
No,
yeah, my dad's here too. I've had a couple other people call me this week asking about it, asking, our tickets, where to get tickets and stuff like that. People that you don't usually see going to different races that call me up this week, asking about how they want to come out here and come to this race. So that's really cool to see, and hopefully they all show up and the weather cooperates. I mean, it's a little warm, but you got a nice breeze. So even sitting in the stands today, you're not going to roast too terrible because you got a really strong breeze.
And by the way, as far as Slinger goes, I look at this Alan Kowicki Memorial. You have Fenhouse, who is the national points leader in the Alan Kowicki program, and Rich Bickle, second in the points at Slinger, who was a personal friend of Alan Kowicki. These two guys among the rest of the field going at it tonight. It's going to be pretty cool, I think. A little extra something. A little bit like Madison and the Howie Leto race having.
It's one of those races you want to win. You think about it, how long it's been now. This is what, the 27th, 28th one, and Matt Kenseth won the first one. Remember? I still remember that night when he won that race, and Jimmy Watson won this race. It was always kind of a special deal to win this Kowicki race up there.
It was. Some nights it was even twin features, if I remember back to the day. So it's had a lot of winners over the years, and of course this year it would have been one of the first races of the year. It's usually back in May, but we got a rain out that night, so it's been postponed till tonight. So big fun. You like racing? It's perfect racing weather, and it's the most perfect weekend of the year. So we'll see either at Milwaukee or at Slinger tonight. Thanks to my two partners who've done a great job there in the media center. Have a great day over there. And as far as everybody else goes, we want you to remember that real race cars have doors, even if they do climb in through the windows. Let's Talk NASCAR is produced and directed by Dangerous Dan Margetta, our in-house engineer, website coordinator, and king of the knobs is Matt Hangover Losi. For everybody involved with the program, we do appreciate the fact that you're listening. We'll see you at one of those two racetracks, and we'll see you next week, everybody.
This program has come to you live from multiple locations via Skype. Any and all comments expressed on this show do not necessarily express the opinions of this station, its employees, or advertisers. Your comments are always welcome at mail@ltnradionetwork.com. Find us at facebook.com/LTN Radio Network. And thank you for your support since 1985. Tune in again next Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time for the LTN Hour on the LTN Radio Network.
Switching to Geico is a good idea, especially when you consider everything.
First off, Geico makes it easy to switch. They have licensed agents available 24/7 online or over the phone.
But if it's so easy, you might start thinking everything is easy, even big wave surfing. And it's not. It's actually quite difficult.
Well, if you switch to Geico, you could save hundreds on car insurance. And you could keep saving by bundling your motorcycle, boat, and RV, plus your home or renter's insurance.
But saving money might lead you to make some questionable purchases, like a 20-foot feather boa. And do you know how hard it is to clean a 20-foot feather boa?
Well, they do have an industry-leading mobile app you can use to pay your bill, file and manage a claim, or add a new driver.
But when life gets a little easier, it makes you too confident, and you start calling everyone Ace. And you're better than that.
Well, Geico has a 97% customer satisfaction rating and has been saving people money for 85 years. It's hard to beat that.
But you're right.
Switch to Geico. It's obviously a good idea.